So, in our last live, we have read this fanfic called Crybaby. We have read till chapter 22, and today we are going to read chapter 23 and continue. And let's see how many chapters I can cover today. So, in last chapter, we have seen that RV was carrying Soeun in his arm and he was taking her somewhere. We don't know where he was taking, and I'm curious where he was taking her. And let's not forget that BTS members was also with them, so let's not think anything weird at this moment. So I don't know if this comic has any kind of special scenes like that, romantic scenes in it, but if there are, then I'm excited, and I'm just really excited of the fact that he is carrying her in his arms, and and then the way she hides her face in his chest. I know I'm saying it like I have also said it in last live as well, but today as well I'm saying it because it's just exciting. Yeah, guys, you guys understand it. I hope so. Yes, so let's continue today. As we have seen in the previous chapter that Minju has brutally beaten up Sion, and she was really hurt and she was in pain, and BTS caught her. They saw her in that condition, and I don't know what's going to happen, so let's just go and read it. Okay. So chapter 23. Now tell us, Taeyong said in a demanding tone. He was gently pressing the cold pack onto Sion's bruises, eyes and cheek. Sion didn't have the energy to fight back, so she just let Taeyong do whatever he pleases. It's nothing, really. Sion once again tried to convince them. Taeyong glared at Sion with his eyebrows frowned. The other boys also did the same. They are not at Namjoon's car. He told his personal driver, Mr. In, to leave the car at the school to pick them up later. Stop lying to us, Jungkook said. His tone was rough. He didn't even use Nuna like he used to. Stop with your bullshit and explain to us, Jungkook said, still glaring at her. Seon didn't say anything and just looked down, and after a while her shoulders started to shake. Soft whimpers came out from her mouth. Don't cry, Taeyong said, looking at her. Who did this to you? Yoongi asked, as he looked at Seon with sad eyes. Seon took a deep breath and looked at the boys. Yeah, these boys did said this boys did said that they will protect her, right? It's Minju, she said with a small voice, and Taeyong felt his body burning up. His hands were balled in fist, balled in a fist. Don't hurt her. She is a girl. Seon pecked at them. Jimin scoffed. Oh, so she can hurt you. You are a girl too, Jimin said angrily. Seon didn't answer. She looked at the boys and bit her lips. I told you to stay away from them. Minju's words ringed in her ears. Seon gulped. She won't hurt me again if I stay away from you guys. Her eyes went to Taeyong. Especially you, Taeyong. But I don't think I want to stay away from you, Taeyong said in his mind. If we stay away from you, how are we going to protect you? Yoongi's hands went to press the cold back ever so gently. By staying away from me is the way to protect me, Soeun said, her tears pouring out. Please. Her hands were furiously wiping her tears. I said, don't cry. Taeyong's fingers went wipe Soeun's tears. Soeun closed her eyes, snipping. Soeun then nodded. We would do anything for you, Namjoon said, and Soeun let a sigh of relief. But not to stay away from you, princess. Soeun's eyes enlarged. But we are very sorry that we are not there to protect you, Namjoon said softly. Soeun shook her head. Taeyong will protect you, since we are at all different classes from you, except for Jimin and Taeyong. And Jimin has his own girlfriend, so Taeyong will protect you. If we are not there for, if we are not there for you, okay. So they are saying that planning, like who will protect her because they are in the different classes, and as Jimin also has his own girlfriend, so Taeyong is the right person to protect her if other people are not around. But you don't sorry. But you don't have to do that. If you don't have a burden, why do you have to make one? Soeun said again. Just let me protect you. I don't want to see you hurt, okay? Just let me do it. You are not a burden to us. Now shut up. Taeyong angrily said. How many times do I have to tell you? Namjoon sighed. Soeun, you are not a burden. We are willingly protecting you. Soeun shut up immediately. Taeyong sighed. His large arms went to hug Soeun. I feel like I'm gonna be babysitting, but I'm fine with that, he said coldly. It's like babysitting her because she always cry and keeps, you know, acting like that weak, so they have to protect her. Okay, where are we going? Soeun asked as Jin was driving the car. So they took her in the car. Oh my god, I should have put this in the option. Like when I was asking you guys where would they take her, and I've wrote like things like to her house, to the hideout, or what did I write next? I think yes, to the practice room. I should have wrote like to their car because yes, they were like the school was over and they were taking her. Of course, they will took her. So they probably talk in the car. That makes sense. So yes. Where are we going? Soeun asked as Jin was driving the car. Jungkook and Jimin were fooling around singing some random songs. We are going to Namjoon's house to get some fun, he smiled. Fun? Your parents won't get mad if we hang out there? Namjoon shook his head. I want to go home though. Nah. My parents always go to overseas. They have too much work. Namjoon shrugged his shoulders. So I always have the house by myself, and you can't go home just yet. Okay, well, Soeun replied as she looked at the window. After they arrived at Namjoon's house, which was pretty much like the palace, they sat at the living room floor in a circle. Hosok looked at Soeun. Tell us about yourself, Soeun. About me? Yes, let's get to know more about each other, Namjoon said as his eyes shining looking at Soeun. Ah, and can we go to your apartment sometime? I would like to meet your parents. It's been a long time since I ate homemade food, Namjin said, excited. Well, about that, actually, I live alone. Soeun smiled a little. But if you want homemade food, I can cook for you. I'm a pretty good cook. Soeun smiled wildly, but the boy's heart hurt when they saw the hint of sadness in her eyes. I'm sorry, but what happened? Where are your parents? Namjoon asked. His tone was carefully soft. Should I tell them? But if you don't want to tell us, it's okay. We won't force you to say something you don't want to say, Namjoon said, a little frustrated at himself for being a straightforward. It can't be a sensitive talk. It can be a sensitive topic for Soeun. Soeun just smiled at them. Well, it's not wrong to tell them, right? It's okay. You guys are my friend now, so I can tell you if you guys want to know something about me. Soeun smiled. The boy's face shone. Shone? Sh- the boy's face shone. I think it's the past tense of shine. Okay. We are also gonna be your knight. What? We are also gonna be your knight in shining armor, you know? This Youngie said with a proud tone as Hyun giggled and mumbled a small yes. Okay, they are the knight. They are the knight in the shining armor. Oh my god, yes, they are. Hyun took a deep breath. Where should I start? She asked herself. So, my parents, they left me in an orphanage because none of them want to take care of me. They wanted to divorce, but my mom caught my dad was cheating on her. My dad never liked me before, and my mother, so she loved me with her full heart. At least that's what I thought. But she left me when she fought with father. Go away. I was never your mother. You were never a daughter to me. I never loved you. Her mother's word ringed in her ears. Sion took a shaky breath as she continues. Her tears were already falling. She said she never loved me. Sion let out a laugh, but she was crying. After after my parents left me, they put me in the orphanage. But luck was on my side. My neighbors took care of me. She remembered her neighbor. Ah, she was so kind. Mrs. Na. Mrs. Na's face appeared in her mind. Sion looked at the boys. They just smiled in sympathy. Sion smiled back brightly. You had a pretty rough childhood, Sion, Jin said. Are you okay now? Jin asked sweetly. Sion nodded. Well, as you can see, I'm perfectly fine now, Sion said in a happy tone. You live alone, Jin trilled. I grew up learning to be independent, so I'm okay, Sion said, nodding and smiling. Jin smiled warmly and rubbed her hair. Such a strong girl. Feeling Jin rubbed her Feeling Jin rubbed her hair with such a warm gaze, she remembered about her parents. Her parents used to look at her with that gaze. But Sion's memory went to the sad ones. Her mind flew back at the moment they left her. How they treated her so differently before they had a huge fight that led to their divorce and her parents abandoning her. How Soeun had to go to school miserably with a nickname called Pity Orphan in such a young age. People used to say that it's her fault, that her parents left her. Like, seriously? People are shit. Okay. Because she keeps on crying for mild things. Yeah, this is disgusting. Like, if you are bullying her like this and saying stuff like her parents left her because she cries at really small things, I think she cries because she has a trauma. And that's why she cries at small things. And if the boys want to leave her eventually, she wouldn't be surprised. But she didn't know if she could handle the pain. You guys wouldn't leave me, right? Soeun asked with a pitiful tone. Seon's tears suddenly fall. Her tears were falling again. She let out a small chuckle, not surprised that her tears fall again. I am pathetic, aren't I? Always crying? Don't say that, Taeyong said roughly, but quickly went to Seon's side and hugged her. The boys also crashed her with a group hug. We won't, the boys said at the same time. We won't leave you, they said again, and Seon can't help but let a whimper. The boys smiled. Seon was a different and precious. After they broke the hug, Taeyong spoke up. Let's treat the first, okay? Oh, let's treat this first, okay? Taeyong said as his fingers gently touching Seon's bruises. Today, I'm so proud of myself because I'm saying this word bruises correctly. In last day before yesterday, I did live and I was saying booties. It's not breweries, girl. It's bruises. Yes, I'm so proud of myself today saying bruises. Okay, just out of okay. Let's focus on the fanfic. I wouldn't want you to have a large scar in your cute little face. Oh my god, he said as he playfully tapped his index finger on Sion's nose. This is okay, yes. Okay, here's an update story. Sorry if it's bad. I'll do better next time. I love this chapter. Sion seems to be open up to them, and Theong is already having this strange urge to protect her from anything. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this chapter. So this was from the writer, and yes, I mean, you don't need to sorry if it was bad, she's saying, but I think it was amazing. And this type of deep things are like makes the story more strong, I guess. So yeah, I really enjoyed it, and the fact also, yes, that she opened up with them. Yes, blushing. Yes, blushing because yeah, if Taeyong touches your nose, of course you're gonna blush. Okay. I feel lonely. I wish I find a lover that could hold me. Now I'm crying in my room. Where is this from? Ah, that song. I remember the song, but I don't remember the song name. This is so Jungkook. Okay, when Jungkook said, I remember the actress, but I know her face, but I don't know her name. And then the ghost line, I know the movie, but I don't know movie name. Just like that. I know this song, but I don't know this song's name. Uh, I think it was Cupid. Yes. hope I'm not wrong. I'm just guessing. Okay, guys, this was chapter 23. Now let's go to chapter 24. I'm really excited to read it. How do you guys feel about it? Please write it the comments. I'm excited to see how Taeyong is going to protect her, like in the class. And yes, because BTS have given him the duty to be her protector. um protect her, being a protector. Yes. Okay, let's read the chapter 24. I hope you guys can hear my voice. If you have any problem, I would never know until I listen it later. Okay. After Soeun had bruises on her face which soaked the lives of the boys, they decided to stick together with Soeun. Stick as in never leave by her side and acting like a damn bodyguard, which made Soeun wanting to bury herself into the soil because of the damn stairs. Okay, I can relate to her. Like, people are staring. Ah, she's walking with the bodyguards and stuff like this. Yes, I can imagine. Guys, Sion spoke up and the boys hummed in response. With a sigh, she turned on her back, facing the boys, which made them stop on their track. Shouldn't you guys go to your class already? Sion said as she gritted her teeth. All the boys have their own class except for Taeyong and Jimin. Ah, we decided to skip the class, Namjoon said, as if it was nothing. Namjoon's word made Sion frown her eyebrows. Why? We wanted to hang out with you, obviously. Jimin said as his eyes were in half moon. Okay, Jimin's half moon eyes always get me. Oh, okay. Jimin, we are in the same class, Seon said, and Jimin just let out an awkward smile. Go to your class, guys. Seon signed and looked at them in disbelief. It's not like you will not meet me on recess. The boys didn't want to go to their classes. They even thinking about skipping classes and bringing Seon with them. Where? Where are they trying to bring her with them? Okay, let's see. It's true, but how about Jackson? What if he bothers you? Hyungi said, obviously making an excuse to skip his class. Okay. Seon rolled her eyes. You guys, you guys and your ex. Okay. You guys and your excuses. She shook her head in disbelief, but she was smiling. Seon's eyes went to Taeyong. I'm sure Taeyong will protect me before anything happens, she said as her eyes abandoned Taeyong's when he looked at her. Jimin nudged Taeyong with his elbow and gave him a teasing smile. Taeyong just gave him a blank look. Seon was already walking away from them, her hands carrying her books. I'll be going then. Go to your class. Don't skip it. She waved the boys goodbye. Seon, wait. Nuna. they are they are after her. Like, Seon, wait. Nuna. They all signed when Seon was already far. Taeyong quickly fastened his step to catch himself to Seon. Give me the books, Taeyong said. His hands already snatched the book out of Sion's hand. He later looked at Sion's bag. Your bag looks heavy, he said with monotone. His hands went to snatch her bag this time. What? Taeyong carried her bag and her books as if it was nothing. Of course, it was nothing. With, oh my god, guys, the way Taeyong's body getting like he's in the military, and we saw his pic with Yongtan and doing this heart on his face and everything. uh, his body is getting he's getting buffier. I really love it. Like, we have always seen a skinny Taeyong, and now we are going to we are getting to see the buffed up body of his, and I am really excited. I wonder how he's going to look when he comes back. Like, they said like they gonna get lot of weight gain, and I think Jungkook is also getting buffed, Jimin is also getting buffed, and I am really excited to see them. Where I think J-Hope is like really normal. J-Hope doesn't gain weight for some reason. He looks like how he was before, but yeah, he did gain weight, but I think weight doesn't look visible on him. I think that's the reason. Namjoon, I think, yes, Namjoon also getting a little bit puffed up. And we are saying about Jin, I think just like J-Hope, Jin is like, weight gain doesn't no look noticeable on them. So yes, whatever. Yoongi, Yoongi also did gain weight a little bit. Yeah, and the things are going with Yoongi. I think it's just settled down. I hope it just gets quiet soon. I don't know. But yeah, it's not Yoongi's fault anyway. But yeah, it was his fault. Drunk and, riding the scooter and not knowing that it was wrong. But I think the people who have made it into a big thing, I think that was wrong, and it's not that much of a big deal for what I see. And I hope people don't create more problems for him. He's such a nice guy. I love I love you, Yoongi. Okay, let's go and start the reading. Where did I? Okay. Taeyong carried her bag and her books as if it was nothing. Seon felt her legs stick to the ground. Taeyong looked behind him. Eyebrows frowned when he saw Seon standing behind him like a statue. Oi, you're not gonna follow me? He said rudely. Yeah. Seon shuddered and marched towards Taeyong. Seon and smiled a little at Taeyong, and Taeyong frowned, giving Seon a look. But Seon continued smiling. So Taeyong looked away. This thing is, oh my god, what is happening here? Okay. Bangtang looked at the pair. Okay, they are still there. They didn't go to their classes. They are still there. Bangtang looked at the pair. Taeyang has a thing for Seon, huh? Namjoon smirked. Does he? Hosuk said. Eyebrows frowned as he looked at the pair again. I don't think so. Jimin and Jungkook rolled his eyes. Stupid Hoseok-hyung. Didn't you realize how different Taeyong acts around Seon? Okay, they didn't say this to Hoseok because, of course, Hoseok is older than him. Then they respect him. They are in their mind like, are you Hyung stupid? Why don't you get it? And they are like, don't you realize how different Taeyong acts around Seon? Jimin said, looking at Hoseok in disbelief. Hoseok just shook his head, making the two boys sigh. My baby is growing up, Jin said with a dramatic tone as he wiped off his imaginary tears. Namjoon followed his action. This is so cute. Like, they are like wiping their tears. So, okay. Imaginary tears like a parent would do. Oh my god, my baby, they grow up. And okay, you might not able to see, but I'm doing the action of wiping the tears right now. Okay, let's move forward. Ew, Hyungi said, squinting his eyes in disgust. Don't be so dramatic, will you? His eyes went to Namjoon, eyes rolling. This leader, he's like, leader is also doing this kind of stuff. Okay. Jin ignored what Hyungi said and continued his act with Namjoon. After a few seconds, Namjoon stopped. Well then, let's go to class, he said in a serious tone, making the boys groan. Wow, you are like went from 0 to 100%. Yoongi rolled his eyes. Do you have a split personality? Why? I don't know. I think the first few chapters were really serious, and this kind of things are making me actually laugh. Like, yes, they are funny in real too. So, they're like, do you have a split personality? Because Namjoon was just wiping his tear with Jin and suddenly hacks like, boys, let's go to class. Okay. Is what our princess wants. So we gonna do as she says. Namjoon laughed. Oh, he's just doing what his princess told him to do. Okay. Here, Taeyong said in an unsatisfied tone. Come on. There are other places that are better than the library. He was putting Sion's bag at the chair that was beside him. Library is the best, Sion said as he sat down, grabbing her books from Taeyong's hand. You are telling me, Kim Taeyong, to sit on a library? Huh? Taeyong said, folding his arm. Okay, he's like repeating what she said. You are telling me. Okay, he's like, you are telling me. Kim Taeyong. He's like, I am Kim Taeyong. To sit on a library? And his arms folding. Sion said with an uninterested tone. He's like, uninterested tone. I don't know how to make uninterested tone. Gosh, you are so boring, Taeyong said looking at Sion. Sion frowned her eyebrows immediately. You said you wanted to follow me when I clearly said that you don't have to. Sion shrugged her shoulders. If you don't want to stay here, then you can go. I'm fine alone. Sion smiled a little as she continued reading her books. Theon groaned. I won't leave you alone. With that, he sat down in front of Sion. He looked at Sion that was writing down notes. Theon was observing Sion's features. Theon immediately looked away when Sion looked at him. Oh my god. This is so. This is making my heart beat fast. Okay. Okay, relax, read. Okay. Taeyong immediately looked away when Seon looked at him. Seon tilted her head and she continued doing her work after. Isn't that Taeyong? What is it doing with that bitch? Oh, that girl? She's a whore. Keeps sticking around with Bangtan. I saw Taeyong carrying her bag and her books. She is already controlling him. Ew, what an attention seeker. How can someone like her sticking around with Taeyong? Taeyong didn't care of what they say. So these are like girls or other people talking behind their back, and I think Taeyong can hear it. Taeyong didn't care of what they say. He just signed as he ignored them. Taeyong rolled his eyes and wanted to look at Seon's feature more. But his heart dropped when Seon sniffs. Seon was crying. That sight of her made Taeyong's body fire up. Taeyong glared at all of them. Leave, he said with a low tone. But he still can hear all the whispers. Taeyong signed in frustration as he stood up, making the chair hit the wall. Didn't you hear what I said? I said fuck off, he screamed, making the people who were bad mouthing at Soeun looking at him in horror. The librarian rushed to them. Okay. The librarian rushed to them. What do you think you are doing? Making a. Hey, I don't get this word. Ruckus. Rux. Making a rux in a library. Taeyong scoffed. Like I care. He looked at the one who were talking behind his back. They are the one who started it. Tell them to shut up or just kick them out of the library. The librarian looked at Taeyong for a moment and signed. All right, leave. He mentioned the group to leave with circling them with his finger. Okay, so he's pointed at the group of the people who were like bad mouthing them and told them to leave. The librarian is a place, the library is a place that you get knowledge at, not to pick up a fight, he said with a boring tone. As he glared at Taeyong, he shooed the group out of the library. The librarian sighed. Kids nowadays. He shook his head as he went to rearrange the books on the shelf. Taeyong grabbed another chair and sat down, still in front of Soeun. He folded his arms. Stop crying. He snapped at Soeun. Soeun, at the other hand, startled by the coldness of his tone, only cried harder. I mean, yeah, just soften up a little bit. She's already crying. Taeyong was supposed to be annoyed at Soeun for crying too much. Besides, he hated when he saw people crying. For Taeyong, when people are crying, they are weak. And Taeyong hates weak people. Of course, Taeyong hated seeing Soeun cry. He wanted to hate more. But if he saw her crying, he had strong he had this oddly strong urge to hug her. He wanted to kill every single thing that made her cry. Oh my god, this is. Okay, kill them. Kill all of them. Okay, let's continue. Soeun was different, I guess. Taeyong said in his mind. With a heavy sigh, Taeyong went beside of Soeun and hugged her, drawing circle behind her back and comforting her. So he's rolling her hand on her back to calm her down. Why do you always hug me? Soeun complained. Girl, why are you complaining? Just get the hug. He's hugging you. Shut up. Yeah, he's like, shut up. He said rudely. It's because you always cry. He snapped at her, but his fingers were still tracing small circles behind Soeun's back, calming her. Taeyong and Soeun were like in their own world without caring anything. But what they didn't notice is that someone was watching them from afar, eyes glaring deadly at the pair. I think this is Minju. This is definitely Minju. Or Jackson maybe, but I don't think. I think Jackson is done bothering them, or maybe he will bother them in further like coming parts, but I think this is just Minju glaring at them. She doesn't like Taeyong getting close to Soeun, so maybe that's why. 911. I would like to report a stalker. Her name is Minju. Comments cause he likes you stupid even though without knowing. Yes. So these people are answering her for like, why do you always hug me? That was the answer. He likes you. Okay. Yes, before going to the next part, let me just take a small break and I'll be right back. Okay. Okay, guys, I'm back. I just don't wanna make you guys wait more for me. Already, I'm not showing my face, so it might get weird. Like, Ghost is running the channel, like that. Ghost is doing the live. I always say, like, you know, people who are just, coming to my live and not talking, they're like ghosts. They just see, like, they are there, but you just don't know who you are talking to, or like that. So I always made fun of this thing. Now I'm doing the same thing. Okay, guys, let's find out who is following, not glaring at them secretly. I hope you guys are interested in this fanfic as I am actually really interested. At first, I don't wanted to read it, but thanks for you guys. You said I should read it, and I'm kind of enjoying it. So, chapter 25. Soeun sighed as she looked at the glares uncomfortably. Oh boy, here we go again. Her bag was again with Taeyong. And since Soeun kept bugging Taeyong that he carries her bag is a burden to him, although it is a little heavy because of all the books she put inside, Taeyong threw his water bottle to her. Why? Eh? Was he angry or he just like. Oh, and Sion was left with carrying water bottle. Is like. Okay, the only thing is. Okay, he threw his water bottle. Like, out of all those things, he just threw his water bottle so that she can carry it for him. Did something happen? Taeyong asked as he scanned his surrounding, eyes rolling. Hearing Taeyong's question, Sion's head quickly perked, aware of the stares that are slightly different from before. Actually, Yoongi starts, his hand scratching his furry head as he frowned. There is a rumor that you and Minju are dating. The fuck you? Who said this? Taeyong's eyes went wide. Let me finish my word, Yoongi signed. And they say Soon is playing around with you. He finished. But Soon didn't get it. She frowned, as he looked at Yoongi. I mean, I do hang out with him. We are not talking about hang out, princess, Namjoon replied and signed. What he was saying is, you are playing around with Taeyong even when Taeyong is dating with someone. Like you wanted to take Taeyong away from that girl. But I wasn't. Seon shook her head. Are you dating Minju? Seon asked Taeyong, and Taeyong gave her a glare. I'm asking you. She shrugged her shoulders. If you're not, then okay. I'm fucking not. Taeyong snapped harshly. I don't even want to breathe the same air as her, Taeyong muttered. And yet people believing that you are dating her? Seon looked around at the glares she gotten. Exactly, Jungkook said as he nodded. People are just stupid enough to believe in stupid rumors. Seon heard Taeyong growled. That stupid whore. Taeyong was about to go to Minju. Taeyong, Seon said as her two hands wrapped around Taeyong's strong arm. Taeyong stopped at his track. Where are you going? Seon shuddered. Taeyong signed and turned around to see Seon. Seon was crying. Her tears were flowing out from her beautiful eyes. Taeyong felt a loud bang in his heart. Okay, I don't get what is bang, or they mean bang or something. But whatever it is in his heart. Stop fucking crying. Taeyong snapped and glaring at Seon. I'm going to see Minju. No! Seon screamed in horror. Don't meet her! She panicked. The boys hauled at Seon's shocked tone. Flashback. Seon waved at the boys goodbye after giving her a ride home. After that, she walked to her apartment. She was about to open her door when she felt someone yanked her hair. Ouch! Let go! She screamed in pain. But the hand was still tugging on Seon's hair, hurting her. When she turned around, her eyes went wide in horror. Minju. Her face was as if she was possessed by some ghost. She was scary. She glared at Seon, and Seon can literally feel the glare in her soul. Come with me, bitch, and keep your mouth shut, she threatened her. Seon wanted to yell, but she couldn't. I'm sorry, guys, I'm having. My throat is a little bit having issue. Seon was dragged to the nearby wall without saying anything. Minju kicked her on the stomach. Okay, there is so much sound, I guess. I don't know if you guys can hear, but I'm gonna read this chapter and then end it. Let's read it quickly. Okay. Seon groaned, her hands covering her stomach. She looked up to Minju. What are you? Shut the fuck up, she yelled, and her friends were behind her, standing like a sidekick. She said, sighed distastefully. I thought I told you to stay away from them. She shook her head, looking at Seon. And what did I just saw? As if you sticking with them every second in school was not enough. Now what? They give you a ride home? I told you to stay away, right? Minju shouted and Seon closed her eyes. Seon gulped down her saliva. I can't. I know, right? You can't stay away from them even though you asked for it, right? Minju said, folding her arms. Seon nodded as yes. She was shaking. Cold sweats were at her forehead. Minju hummed. Ah, she shouted, acting as if got a brilliant idea. You are so here the deal. Also, sorry. Okay, so here is the deal, Minju smirked. Every time if I want to hit you, I will hit. Don't you think it's fair because you sort of stealing the boys from me? She laughed. Soeun looked at Minju, wide eyes. But of course, I won't hit you at where the boys can see the bruises. I'm not that stupid, Minju chuckled. No, no, please don't, Soeun begged. Minju snickered the snap and snapped Soeun. Shut up, you whore. Minju snapped, and then she and her friends began to beat the shit out of. What's wrong with me? The music is kind of making me distracting me. Okay, I think it's going to just keep growing. Okay, we are close to the end, guys. Okay. Minju snapped, and then she and her friends began to beat the shit out of Soeun. You better hide those bruises. If it stood out, she said in a monotone. Oh, and don't let Taeyong meet me for your problems or I can't read. The sound is so distracting me. Oh, and don't let Taeyong meet me for your problems or yell or else. What's wrong with me? Okay, once again. Okay. Oh, and don't let Taeyong meet me for your problems or else you will get more hate. End of the flashback. Oh my god, the sound is growing. I don't think I can continue. Let's just continue this, or maybe I can read this once again, like in the next chapter. Why not? Taeyong looked at Soeun. Soeun looked like she was daydreaming. She didn't answer Taeyong. Just don't, please. I am fine with the rumors. They don't bother me at all. Soeun explained, and her eyes looked so hurt. So Taeyong couldn't say no. Soeun's mind went to Minju's again. Soeun, Hosok asked worriedly, are you okay? He said, snapping his finger in front of Soeun. Huh? Soeun asked and blinked. Oh, yeah, I'm fine. You sure? Jin asked again. Soeun just nodded in response. Yeah, I'm completely fine. Don't worry. She gave them a reassuring smile. She signed. She will be fine. Right? So that's it, guys. This was the end. What did I just do? But I hope you enjoy this chapter. Okay. Yes, writer, you're doing a good job. Kind of like it. Damn, he just roasted the whole Cape of fandom. Who? I don't get it. Who roasted the whole Cape of fandom? You piece of shit. Let her fucking go. Yes. Minju. I don't know. I hate Minju. Oh, okay. They are in the really bad situation, guys, as we don't know what is going to happen, and I should end this because I don't know how much you are getting to hear my voice, because there is so much voice that music is going, and I can't even stop that. So yes, let's just end this live and see what we have in the next live. In the next chapter, it's going to be chapter 26. So see you in chapter 26, guys. And yes, bye bye, take care. have fun, enjoy, and I will find time to do live when there is no noise pollution. Okay, let's go. Bye bye. Annyeong.